What's up, my nerd friends? Now that we have the Aurorian trial to test out the 3 units, well, 3 new units specifically, Rouge, Florine, and Ruby, let's test them out and see if they're actually good. So firstly, we're gonna test out Rouge. So Rouge is a 5-star detonator and she has 3,333 attack. I think she really likes the number 3. Honestly, very high attack, defense, and health. Probably on the top bracket of fire units. And I actually really like her design. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I think there is a increase in quality on the models. Yeah, so firstly we're gonna talk about the abilities. Clan Fury. So this ability has 3 cooldowns. Again, she really likes the number 3. This ability is basically a blend of Brock and Keating ability, just like Brock ability where you can suck enemy to you. Except for Rouge, you can choose where you want to suck the enemy. Gosh, I just realized how weird that sounds. Honestly, this is a very good ability, so I can demonstrate it to you. The range is ginormous, right? So you can choose where you want it in a diamond shape, I think. Yeah, you can choose where you want it in a diamond shape. So it is not a global range, but as you can see, because it's 3 cluster, it actually hit quite a big range. However, the outer cluster is going to do less damage, 53% reduced per cluster. So when you select a place, the enemy will be sucked into the tile you selected, and maximum they can move 2 tiles. So let me select here. I cannot reach this. I have to select here to suck them over here, which is very nice. You can see here, after you do that, you can, well, use your chain combo effectively. That's a really cool chain combo, I'm not gonna lie. So what do I feel about Rouge? I think Rouge is pretty good on ability alone. There are going to be times where I feel like Brock alone is not enough to pull those little mobs over, and having another fire unit to pull them closer, that's pretty neat. But of course, Rouge does come with her own up and downside. The upside is, well, you can hit a bigger target multiple times, unlike Brock, which is 1 time. And having the flexibility to select where the sucking begins is definitely nice. The downside is the range. While 3 cluster is big, but you can only force the enemy to move maximum 2 tiles. When you put it that way, the aggro is not big at all. Overall, a welcome unit to my arsenal because Rouge is actually a welfare unit. So as long you can beat the event, you can get her for free. So the next thing is the chain combo, the frenzy, right? So this chain combo is pretty standard. It has a 3, 6, and 9. Honestly, the 9 part is kind of surprising. I don't think there is a single unit with chain combo that low on the 3rd one. Only needing 9. So that's a nice thing, but the multiplier and the shape doesn't really help. The radio shape is not the best, and the multiplier is not exactly high. It's kinda low, but I think you would use Rouge pretty much just to use his ability and having her to do a little bit extra damage. So yeah, it's fine. And her equipment, Vermilion Clash, every 3rd and 5th normal attack damage is increased based on the target remaining health. The increase reach a maximum of 53% when the target is at its max health. Basically, every 3rd and 5th attack give extra damage. The higher the percentage the health of the enemy, the higher the bonus. Compared to a lot of equipment out there, I think this equipment is kinda meh. You probably wouldn't notice a big difference, but this equipment makes using her a little bit more interesting because you have to decide when you attack a new enemy or not strategically. But I think honestly, just think of it as extra damage. It's not too important at all. So what we learned so far, this girl really likes the number 3. As you can see how much 3 is in her stats. So next up, we're gonna talk about Florine. I just want to say the Madman Turtle actually did it. They actually released a double chainer for Thunder. I thought it wouldn't happen, but now she actually came in a 6-star format. Obviously there is a problem with being a 6-star unit because, well, getting breakthrough is extremely hard. And for Florine, her cooldown is on 4 cooldown on base, and if you can get the breakthrough 3, it is preemptive, and if you can get the maximum breakthrough, it is 3 cooldown preemptive strike. Pretty much similar to all the other double chainer out there. What this means is you kind of have to go for at least one more copy if you want to burst the enemy down on the first turn, which is most of the time why you want to use the double chainer anyway. And for her stats, she actually has pretty decent stats, 3100 plus. It is not bad for a support. The defense and health is kind of standard. It's not too special, but not too low either. And the important part is obviously her active skills Slither Zoned. So after using the active skill, Thunder Aurorin will release the chain combo twice during this round. For the second release, all Thunder Aurorin attack is 95% of Florine's. If you don't know, the 5-star version is only 85%, so you already get 10% more than, well, the 5-star variant. And at the same time, the numbers of tile required to trigger Thunder Aurorin chain combo is reduced by 1. So that means if the maximum chain requirement is 12, you only need 11 to reach it to activate the last chain. This means you are able to get your last chain easier. However, it's not important at all. Usually when you use double chainer active skill, you want to make sure you can get Aurora time 15 tiles so you can get the maximum amount of damage. So having the number of tile requirement minus by 1 is not too impactful in my opinion. Yes, definitely it's nice to have some but most of the time you wouldn't really notice it exists, to be honest. And for a chain combo, Lightning Ire, it's a 4, 9, and 12 chain, and what I really like to see is definitely the 12 chain is 2 cluster. 2 cluster is definitely a premium chain combo. I love it, and having a really good chain combo, really good active skill, and the equipment is also really good, makes Florine actually probably one of the core unit right now. If you can get the preemptive strike, of course. Bolt Assist is her equipment. The damage for all Thunder Aurorin chain combo of different ranks are increased by 5%, or 7%, or 10% respectively. So this means if you're getting the third chain, you can get 10% damage bonus from Florine. This is a very good equipment because you might not really notice anything because it's a passive. You don't have to activate it. You don't have to actually go and like make good use of it. When you are just doing damage, you pretty much get the bonus, and 10% is not low. 10% is actually one of the higher one in Thunder support units. And what can I say? Florine is very good. You got really good chain combo, you got really good active skill, and you got really good equipment as well. Yeah, top tier unit. If you really want a burst team, definitely summon for Florine, but do know that maybe you want to get 2 copies because the preemptive strike is quite important. It's a Bethlehem scenario again. Without the second breakthrough, you are gonna wait 4 turns to use the abilities. Usually not worth it. So if you want to go for Florine, definitely consider get 2 copy at least. So let's test her out in battle. Yeah, test her Aurorin trial. I don't really like how the trial is only 1 unit because she's a support, but I guess we can see her animation. Okay. It's a bit fast. I couldn't really see what's going on. Let's go turn off the double speed, I guess. I think she is actually just using her snake to attack. Have I seen it wrong? Dude, poor snake. Holy. Look at that. Is it a snake or an actual sword? It's not her snake, right? And animal abuse, man. So yeah, that is for chain combo. Pretty good. I really like the 2 cluster chain. It's just too good. Yeah, pretty nice. The equipment is, well, it's not really visual. You just get it. So nothing much to say there. Other than you get extra bonus damage. So yeah, that's Florine. Right, the next one will be Ruby. So Ruby is a water converter, as I guessed correctly. Wink wink. And she is a cross converter, surprisingly. So other than Button, now we also got Ruby, yet another cross converter. But this time, instead of just the plus shape, you can get an X shape as well. Optional, of course. You can choose to get plus or the X shape. So I know a lot of you all probably already noticed that cross converter really need breakthroughs, and they are generous enough to actually put the preemptive strike on the breakthrough tree. Thank God for that. So on base cooldowns, Ruby has 4 cooldown, and on preemptive strike you get, on breakthrough tree you get preemptive strike, and on the breakthrough 6 you get the switch. So it is probably easier to show you what the max breakthrough is, because I think it's pretty confusing. Tap the tile under her feet to switch the direction. So you can see, you can select X shape or the plus shape. Then you can tap the tiles under the feet to either knock back or you can pull enemy closer. But do notice the pulling or knockback switch is only on the maximum breakthrough. Which is honestly very interesting, because Button can only knock back enemy, of course, and Ruby can actually pull enemy closer to you, and arguably pulling enemy closer is much more useful, and to do that while converting tiles is honestly just amazing. But to think you need to go for maximum breakthrough to get that is not really worth it. So let's talk about her stats. We got 2,600 and 900 defense, and also 8,400 health. On the attack and health and defense side, I think it's average for a converter, especially the tile converters. Definitely not high, but it's converter, you can't really do much about it. Overall, I like her active skill. It's one thing I really glad Twodog makes her preemptive strike on the 3rd breakthrough instead of the last. That will be a breaking point for a lot of people to go for her or not. I think if it's on the 2nd one, you can probably really go for her if you really like her. And yeah, the maximum breakthrough turn it to sucking power is also quite interesting change, but not mandatory. Of course, nothing much to say. It's like Button 2.0. And her chain combo is definitely one of the more interesting part of her kit, because this is the first time we get such a chain combo, the strike zone. And on the last chain, I'm just gonna talk about the last chain because it's only like damage difference for each of them. Deal 150% damage to 2 nearest enemy. If there is only 1 enemy target, the damage is inflicted twice. So that it means if you are only attacking 1 enemy, you are attacking the enemy 2 times. So this is like Flutter active skill, except you don't have to actually use the Flutter active skill. It's a very good chain combo, even for a converter that doesn't actually do a lot of damage. I mean, doing 2 times the damage is quite a lot. So even though she is a converter, she actually quite packing a punch for a single tile enemy or even just 1 boss. She actually do quite a lot of damage. And like most of the cyber range skill, her range is global, and on top of that you get the special effect where you can attack twice. Yeah, it's a very good chain combo. And her equipment, the Slugger, for every 3 times the chain combo deal damage to the same target, inflict extra damage equal to 3% of the target current health and no less than Ruby's 150% basic defense. This is a nice bonus because it's an extra attack. That means it can help you break shields, or yeah, it's just nice damage. 3% is not very high because Michael, a single normal attack is already 6%, I think. Wait, let me check. Oh wait, no. So Michael single normal attack is 2.5% current health, and Florine is obviously 3%, but you do have to at least use chain combo on the same target 2 times in order to do that. Yeah, extra damage and percentage damage is always welcome to get, but it's a bit harder to maximize the potential because, well, you need at least 2 turns to get 3% off, and it is current health, not straight up percent like poison does. So the lower the health of the enemy, the less effective this is. However, there is the quotes of no less than 150% of Ruby basic attack, so if at least you're still getting like 1,000 plus damage, which is nice. But overall, just a nice little bonus, like an extra normal attack. Definitely one of the more unique one, I would say, although not too impactful. So yeah, after knowing all the abilities and how they actually work in game, I would say actually all of them are pretty good. Even Rouge, Florine is obviously probably one of the best unit in this set because, well, Thunder really need the double chainer and Florine came. And Florine has really good chain combo and also equipment. It's just one of those units you would need if you want to create a burst team, because like currently we have Tessa, which is quite slow because you build her stack up, and we have Michael team that kind of lacks the punching power. Sure, you have the percentage cut, but having Florine in will definitely help a lot into creating a burst team. The downside of all the characters, well, you don't have to summon for Rouge, so Rouge doesn't count, is you kind of need to get the second breakthrough to get the maximum power out of them, which might be quite expensive depending on your budget. I personally wouldn't be too crazy for them, so I will only do 10 pulls for each banner and see if I can actually get them. But do know that if you want to go for them, make sure you at least have enough to summon for at least 2 copies. That's what my recommendation is. Of course, if you want just 1 copy because you want to collect them, it's definitely fine as well. And yeah, that is my sort of a first impression of all the units, and I will probably do a more in-depth look on how they fit into the current meta. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.